Today I'm going to be showing you how to take a whole number and divide it by a decimal. A couple of steps to remember. First off, it's against the rules to have a decimal in your divisor, and that's the number you're dividing by. So we're going to have to move the decimal out of there first. Step 2, then, we're going to move the decimal the same number of places over in the dividend, and since we're dividing by whole numbers today, we're going to have to add some zeros on. So let's take a look at some examples and see how things go here. Here's just an example of what a problem could look like. If I wanted to know how many quarters there were in $6, my problem would look like a 6 divided by 0.25. Okay, in reality, there's a decimal point right there. Remember what I said on the first page? You cannot have any decimals in this number right here. So if I move it over 1, 2 spots, and now this decimal point is gone, I'm going to have to take this number and move it over 1, 2 spots, and there's my new decimal point. This one's now gone, and I got spots for 2 zeros to come in there. This seems kind of confusing to people sometimes. Really what we just did, I moved the decimal 2 to the right, so I multiplied so I can move it to the right. So really I took the 0.25 times 100, which now gives me 25. So I took the 6 times 100. Oh, that would give me 600. So 600 divided by 25 is the exact same problem that 6 divided by 0.25 would be. And now that I got to this place, I'm just going to do what I normally do. How many 25s in 6? There's not any. So 0 times 25 is 0. I subtract. I got 6. Bring down this 0. How many 25s in 60? Remember, multiplying by 25s is just like counting quarters. So 25, 50. That's 2 of them. When I subtract, I've got 10 left, and bring down this other 0. How many 25s in 100? It's like saying how many quarters in a dollar. 4 of them. 4 times 25 is 100. I don't have anything left. My decimal point would go straight up there. So how many quarters in $6? We take 24 of them. Some people may have went, well, you know what? There's 4 quarters in a dollar, and I got $6 worth, so 4 times 6 is 24. Same exact kind of problem. Try this one out. 10 divided by 0.5. Remember, I cannot have any decimal points in my divisor, so I'm going to move it 1 to the right. So I'm going to take this one, move it 1 to the right. There's my new decimal point. I have to drop a 0 in, so now I'm really at 100 divided by 5. How many 5s in 1? None. How many 5s in 10? 5, 10. That would give me 2 of them. And people go, well, you got 0, and when I bring it down, it's still 0, so I must be done. Well, I'm not really done because this decimal point is going to go straight up, and I'm sitting there with an empty space. So how many 5s in 0? 0. And I know that seems like a kind of wasteless thing to do, but it totally changes my answer from 2 to 20. And then just a real fast check to make sure. So, okay, so 20 times 5, oh yeah, that does equal 100. So my problem did check out. Trying the next problem, 84 divided by 1.2. Remember, move my decimal point over because I can't have them in the divisor. So I'm going to take this one, move it over 1. Have you noticed we've had to add zeros every single time? And the number of zeros we've had to add is how many spots we move to the right. So start the problem. 12. How many times 12 goes into 8? It does not. Bring down my 4. How many 12s in 84? Well, 12. Since I don't have my 12s memorized yet, 12 is a whole lot like 11, and 11s I can do really quickly. So 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, that would be 7 of them. I'm going to try it out just to see if it works. 7 times 12, 14, carrying my 1, 8. Oh, it's perfect. Came out, there's nothing left. Remember, I've still got to bring that 0 down and use him. How many 12s in 0? None. Multiply, there's nothing left. My answer is 70. 84 divided by 1.2 equals 70. In my head, that kind of makes sense because 70 times 1 is 70, and I got a little more than 1 here when I started. Okay, giving you some to try out here. Stop the video for the next few of them, and then I'll show you what to do. Step 1, move that decimal point. Step 2, add the decimal over there, put your 0 in. How many 11s in 7? None. How many 11s in 77? 7 of them. 7 times 11 is 77. Don't forget, I got to get that 0 down there. How many 11s in 0 is 0. And my decimal point really goes there, so my answer just equals 70. This problem would be like trying to find out how many quarters in $20. 1, 2 spots over. 1, 2 spots over. So I got 2 more zeros there. How many 25s in 2? None. How many 25s in 20? Ooh, still none. That seems confusing to some people, but right now it's going to make sense to you when you finally get an answer. So now I'm to how many 25s in 200. So I'm basically counting by quarters. 25, 50, 75, $1, 125, 150, 175, $2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and it comes out perfect at 200. Nothing left. Still got another 0 to bring down. How many 25s in 0? None. And my answer would be, it would take 80 quarters to make $20. And that makes sense to me because I've rolled quarters before, and I know that there are 40 quarters in one of the $10 rolls. All right, move my decimal place over 1 spot. Move my decimal place over 1 spot. And now I'm really just at 520 divided by 4. This time I have a number here. That's okay. I notice we've had zeros all the other times. It's not always going to be that way. There's 1, 4, and 5. When I subtract, I got a 1. Bring down my 2. How many 4s in 12? 3 of them. Subtract, I'm at nothing. I still got another 0 to bring down. How many 4s in 0? 0. Put my decimal point up there. Oh, it equals 130. Some people would go, but wait, we started with 52 and we divided by something and we ended up with a number bigger than 52. That's going to happen. This is like saying I have an oatmeal cream pie that weighs 0.4 pounds. I guess that would probably be a big oatmeal cream pie. And I have this ginormous case that's 52 pounds of them. So how many oatmeal cream pies to make it? 130. If you're not sure of your answer, I can go back. I'm going to take my 130, and just to prove the point to you, I'm going to go back to my original numbers in blue, and I'm going to take this times 0.4, and when I get done, I should end up with 52. So 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 3 is 12, carry my 1, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Marco and Polo, if you want to, but really I'm just going to have zeros all the way across there, right? Add them up. I'm at 520, and I just need to move my decimal point over 1 spot. So it's really 52, which is what we started with. So if I divide by a number less than 1, I'm going to get an answer bigger than I started with. It's sort of like saying if I had 8 pizzas, I want to know how many half pizzas are in there. Like if I'm going to give everyone a half of a pizza, if I did that, it's going to come out again the same kind of way, that I'm going to get a bigger number than what I started with. Most people in their head could go, well, if each pizza is a half of a pizza and you got 8 of them, we're going to end up with 16 half pizzas, which was more than what we started with. Let's try this one out. 0.3 divided by 9. Move your decimal point over 1 spot. Move your decimal point over 1 spot. That's kind of big for a decimal point. Let's try again. Move my decimal point there. Drop the 0 in. How many 3s in 9? There's 3 of them. Subtract, I'm at nothing. I still have a 0 to bring down. How many 3's in 0? None. Put my decimal point up, and my answer just equals 30. This would be sort of like that pizza problem I was talking about. Let's go ahead and try that one out. We have 14 full pizzas. We're going to cut each one in half because remember 0.5 equals a half. It's just one of those facts we have to know. So I want to know how many half pizzas there will be if there were 14 to start. So I'm going to move my decimal point over 1, move my decimal point over 1, and do my multiplying. How many 5's in 1? None. How many 5's in 14? That would be 2 of them. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, I got a 4. Bring down my 0. How many 5's in 40? 8. There's nothing left and nothing else to bring down. Put my decimal point up there. Oh, there it is. It would equal 20 half pizzas in 14 whole pizzas. How many nickels in $8? Move my decimal point over 2 spots. So 1, 2. There's my new decimal point. So I'm dropping in 2 zeros. How many 5's in 8? 1 of them. Subtract, I got a 3, which is less than 5, so I'm still okay. Bring down my 0. How many 5's in 30? 6. Comes out even. But I've still got that 0 to come down. How many 5's in 0? None of them. And that answer kind of makes sense. It would take 160 nickels to get to $8. People go, that seems like a really, really lot. Well, think if it was pennies, that would be 8 times 100 would be 800. So then when you think about it, 160 nickels doesn't really seem like too much.